What's up, Chelsea fans? Hope all of you are doing good. This is the Champions League final. This is Chelsea versus FC Barcelona. We're just all excited. The kickoff is going to happen in another 30 minutes, and we're looking forward to see a pretty damn exciting match. Joining me as part of our the Brotherhood is Hafiz, as usual. Hafiz, welcome.
Hi
Welcome,
guys.
Ananda Krishnan. Welcome. Hi, and then we have our regular panelists now, the current superstar of women's football, which is Radha. Hi, Radha,
Hello, hello.
and and we have a very special guest all the way from Canada. Hi, Ishan, for joining.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
Great, awesome. So we have 30 minutes. We have like 30, 31 minutes to discuss about this. So let's get right ahead. Starting with Radha, jingle polls. Starting
Yeah,
with the lineup.
yes, jingle polls. I mean, we discussed Erin Cuthbert potentially being in there, but I think the experience that these three have and the stability that we probably need at the beginning. Emma Hayes has gone for continuity from the second leg to this final. Now I think she's gone for something that she can rely on, and I'm personally, I would have loved Erin there, but I'm very very happy with jingle polls as well.
Ishan, what about you? You saw the lineup. Interestingly, we have Carter and we have who's on the left back?
I
Carter and
think
Name
Toms.
Liam, yeah. Or
Yeah.
who even knows? Maybe Carter's on the left, Charles is on the right. We never know. We'll find out. But yeah, as Radha was saying, I think midfield is where the game will be won or lost maybe tonight. Like Barcelona have such a good midfield, so I think Emma Hayes did go with the more experienced midfield to kind of cope with that. But fullbacks, you need the energy to cope with Barcelona's wing play. Like they're so strong like their wingers are so strong. So we need the pace of Niamh Charles and also of Jess Carter. So yeah, no, happy to see them start. And you can rarely criticize Emma Hayes for her lineups on like usually the men's team. But yeah, no, happy to see the lineup, and we always have such a strong bench. So it doesn't really matter because we can make changes at any point.
Hafiz, what about you, what do you think about the lineup? The front three is not a
Strong lineup,
surprise.
not a surprise actually. Strong lineup, yes. This was the lineup against Bayern Munich, and I think Emma trusts this lineup, so definitely why not? As Radha said, I would also have preferred Erin Cuthbert there in place of G, but no problem for me. Let's see how the game goes.
So we do have Cuthbert, Spence, Anderson, Fox, Beaver Jones, subs. Of course, Musovic is the goalkeeper. Telford, don't let England also there, as well as Guru right and bring it home, ladies. That's where the comment is coming in from. What are you expecting with this lineup today, Radha? Is it going to be a counter-attacking strategy that the Emma Hayes is at play, or probably we're just going to do a high press and attack?
Yeah, it's a fine balance between the two. I think if we high press, we have a chance of conceding, and I do believe that whoever concedes first will be at a psychological disadvantage. So we might hang back for the first 10. At the same time, in the same breath, we would like to score first, because if we score first, it will give Barcelona a little bit of a flashback to 2019, where they were scored on 3 times in 30 minutes, and that might put their morale a little bit low. So Emma Hayes might play those mind games and just attack them, attack them, attack them. Don't let them settle into the game. So it'll be a fine balance between the two. I think the first 5-6 minutes will be very crucial for both coaches to figure out what kind of game the other team is playing, and then they'll adjust accordingly.
So, Ishan, is it going to be a question of who's scoring first and then holding the nerves for the rest of the game?
Ooh, I think both teams can score at any point. I don't think
Yeah.
for morale, obviously it'll make a difference. But I think if Chelsea score first, it's not like the game's over. We still have a long time before we can call ourselves champions, and same for Barcelona. Like both teams are so strong. But I do feel if Chelsea go in the lead at halftime, we're gonna win, just because Emma Hayes can always deliver a good halftime talk. You can count on her for that, and the team will definitely come out much stronger in the second half, I feel, especially knowing how Barcelona is going to play. Like we've seen before in 2-leg ties where Emma Hayes, after the first leg, she comes back so much stronger for the second leg after she knows how the other team's going to play. So hopefully we can see some of that today again, and we can go in leading at halftime.
Hafiz, did you have to check up the Barcelona lineup by any chance?
Yes, Yes, yeah, that was the first thing. In fact, I checked that because Chelsea's lineup is almost predictable. It's good news that Andrea Pereira is not playing for Barca. She is not playing, and in place of her, we have the midfielder, Barca midfielder Patrick Guijarro, who is dropping back as a centre back. Interesting fact is that Fira Hamro is coming on as a centre midfielder. I think she'll be playing as a pivot. So she's also a very good player. Talking about the midfield, Barca has a very good midfield. So a bit wary about their midfield, to be honest. Their attacking lineup is very good as well. Graham Hansen, they have Lieke Martens, and of course, Yenny Hermoso. So we've got to expect some firepower from their side.
People are asking where do you watch it live. Just go to the YouTube channel and type Chelsea Football Club, and that's their live that's happening. We also have it happening in BT Sports. We are also having BT Sports app. We also happening in the Fifth Stand app. So if you have the app by any chance, that is, so you have a lot of places where you can watch the match for free. So before we go on to that, now tell me, Radha, Sophie Ingle is reading out a message to you. Sophie Ingle is reading out, and Radha is like, "Oh, how did that happen?" Like, I thought you were like gonna scream around. She's like, "Oh, it's like almost like another." I was just expecting Sam Kerr or Kirby, but you're like Sophie Ingle reading that. Did you expect it?
You know what? They told me that download this video, but don't open it. And I was like, okay, there's obviously some sort of surprise happening here. So I had prepared myself not to go completely crazy on camera. Obviously, when the recording ended, I ran to my parents and they were like, who is Sophie Ingle? And I sat them down and I explained to them who Sophie Ingle was and I gave them the full backstory. Like, I was very excited, of course. But yeah, it was, I almost couldn't believe what was happening in that moment. So it was just like a couple of minutes of almost shock. But I was like, wow, how do you make this happen? And they said, that is what the club is about. And I said, yeah, that's pretty awesome. And that's sort of where it ended. But yeah, very, very special message. And I think a perfect day for that fan video to go out. I think I will always remember this day, regardless of what happens. It'll be one of the historic days in Chelsea books. And yeah, I was really glad that I could do that video with them.
Perfect. That was great. And I took a screenshot of that and shared it to the Twitter. And that's when people got to know that such a thing really happened, which was very, very good. And Sangli, yes, Sang, what do you think about the Chelsea lineup? Shadi is saying Ike Mertens is too dangerous. Radha, do you agree with that?
Yeah, she is. There's no doubt. I mean, any rational football watcher would agree. She scored 2 in the second leg of the semi-final. That's similar to what Frank Kirby did. And Frank Kirby is surely dangerous. So Lieke Martens is very dangerous. We have hopefully prepped to counter both the wingers coming at us. But yeah, of course, she's made it to a Champions League final before, a World Cup final before. She knows what she's doing at the big stage.
She's won the Euros as well,
Sorry?
She's won the Euros as well, I think, with Netherlands.
Yeah.
Right. And Ishan, who do you think, who are you going to pick up as the most threatening Chelsea player or even pair?
I think it's got to be yeah, it's got to be Kirby, just because they've been so dangerous this season. It's not been, I guess, the best season for Pernilla Harder in terms of scoring goals, but she's also been contributing, and you can never, I guess, count her out. As we saw in the semifinals, she can pop up with the Drogba-style header. So yeah, Kirby for sure are always dangerous, but in this Chelsea team and even in the Barca team, you can never count anyone out. We saw Alisson score a header today. We might see late headers from some Anne-Catherine Berger maybe. But yeah, you never know.
That Alisson goal, oh my God. All right, we can speak about that later. But yeah, you were right. Yeah. So probably Catherine Berger. Is an interesting question. Sriram Nair is asking, Hafiz, on to you. Can we see Cuthbert in the second half?
Yes, definitely. Yes, we can see Cuthbert. We can see her in 2 different scenarios. If we are not performing well, we can see Cuthbert coming in place of G. And if we are leading with the goal up, we'll definitely see Cuthbert because she's very good defensively as well. As Radha always say that she's some sort of pest. She can keep the other team busy. So definitely we'll be putting on Cuthbert right after 60 minutes, in my opinion.
And Radha, I happened to watch your chat along with Kavya there in Women in Sports Inc. And you were speaking specifically of the goalkeepers, both of them, right? Both at their pinnacle of their career, both doing really well. Who do you think is going to be more crucial? Is it for us or for them?
Yeah, if it comes to penalty shootouts, I would like to have Anne-Catherine Berger in my goal. I think she's peaked at the right time. Her confidence is an all-time high. She's got good distribution with her feet. It's something that she lacked and she has worked on now. And of course, her reaction saves seem to be on point at the moment. So I think I hope that she has a silent game. Doesn't have to be too much, but I do think realistically she's going to have a really tough game. She's going to be challenged, tested for the entire 90 plus 30 into penalties. If that is the case, it's going to be a case of which goalkeeper really shows up tonight. I think Sandra Panos as well in the Barcelona goal has saved penalties in the run up to this final, has been crucial for her team's success. Might not have been challenged to such an extent in the Spanish league, but will definitely be challenged tonight.
Carrying on with that question, Ishan, which team will be more happy to take it to penalties, Barcelona or Chelsea?
I just realized that might be extra time, and I don't think my heart can handle that. Like another 30 minutes, and then penalties. I hope it doesn't go there. I won't be able to watch. But I haven't seen Barcelona play too much, so I don't know how many penalties they've conceded or saved. And I've seen Ann-Katrin Berger, and she's been just phenomenal at saving penalties. I love her technique, the way she stands really tall until like right at the end. So yeah, I think I would definitely go with her in goal. And in terms of the takers, we have some good penalty takers for sure. There's Melanie Leupolz, who did miss a penalty, but she's still such a good penalty taker. She's always been in her career. Pernilla Harder as well takes a good penalty. Fran Kirby took a penalty for the Lionesses a couple months ago. I'm hoping Sam Kerr knows how to take a penalty, but yeah, I'm pretty confident in terms of our penalty takers. They're all very good technical players, so yeah, not worried about them.
So Hafiz, it's crucial for Barcelona to go ahead and take the lead and win within the allotted time limit, and Emma Hayes will be more happier to take it to penalties then.
Not really, no. Penalties is always a different situation. However well you're performing, the penalties, one kick goes wrong, everything goes wrong. So both managers would be playing for a win in the 90 minutes. I don't think any manager would be happy to take it to the extra time. So definitely we'll be countering their tactics. We'll be playing a very good game right from the first whistle. The intensity will be super high. Expecting a very good game from the girls.
Can I just quickly add? Emma Hayes said, after the semi-final second leg, she said that Sam Kerr came up to me and said, "Hey, I told you we'll make it to the final." So Emma Hayes said, like, "Why didn't you do it sooner? Why didn't you finish the game off sooner?" So she always wants to be in control. She wants the game to be done and dusted as soon as possible. You've seen her heart rate monitor and all the things that she's shown us in the press conference when that Bayern second leg took place. So she'll be keen to finish it off as clinically as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Very interesting question again coming to Radha. You've been speaking this about twice, especially with Kavya and for the match preview with us as well. Bringing on War only for the finals, and like a lot of people have been commenting on it, that the Chelsea men have lost the FA Cup final. A lot of negativity going in. This win kind of lifts the mood for the entire Chelsea fans, and War kind of roped us there as well. War last minute introduction only for the finals. People are not ready for it.
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, you've seen that. See, ultimately, VAR is just brought in to make the decisions correctly. Like, if Ben Chilwell was offside, then you had to get that machinery or technology to put him offside. And hopefully, he has trained with that kind of technology throughout, the last year in the English league, in training, XYZ. The women have not. That's the entire point, right? They have not trained. The referees who are now going to be officiating have not trained with VAR to that extent. So I think that's the entire point. There's inexperience, and you cannot just bring it into a Champions League final, which is possibly going to cause a lot of mayhem. I'm all for VAR if it improves the quality of the game and the quality of officiating, but you cannot really put it in without informing everyone or without having the players training. And I think that's where facilities will come in. If Barcelona's home turf and Chelsea's home turf have those VAR facilities, and the players have been able to train with those technology and whatever lasers that they have, then it'll be okay. But if they have not, then it'll be real chaos tonight.
Sang Lee is saying they're going to call Sam Kerr off. So here's a question, Ashwin. Probably Barca never faced Chelsea, this Chelsea side, and for Chelsea is also this is the first Champions League appearance. Hafiz?
Yes, that's our advantage because they've never faced Chelsea ever before. So yes, an advantage because we are a full-hearted team. We've shown our grit in the last couple of games. So definitely they have to be worried about us just the way we are worried about them. We are mentality monsters, to be honest. We have the best coach, the best women's coach in our team, Emma Hayes, who is a mentality monster. She can boost the morale just within snap. So I think, yes, that is the biggest disadvantage that this Barcelona side have.
Yeah, and also we have news is that Roman Abramovich, our owner, is there to watch the Champions League final. Great to have him, probably. My guess is the fans are not allowed in the stadium, isn't it?
Yeah, nobody's
No,
allowed.
Yeah, unfortunately not. In fact, that's exactly what Emma Hayes was saying in the pre-match conference, saying that, we will definitely not have it. So sad that we cannot have our families and friends join us. But then they've been playing like that. They've been playing for the whole season. So that would not affect. And I kind of like it because all of a sudden you bring in fans, players are not mentally prepared. And I kind of thought that probably that also affected Chelsea versus Leicester. We're not discussing about that. But then all of a sudden you bring in fans, you bring in war. It's being a little bit chaotic. Ishan, do you think that would have been a little bit chaotic?
Yeah, it definitely adds a different element. We saw yesterday, even though we don't really want to talk about it, we saw yesterday how Leicester's fans were so much louder than our fans, and that, I guess, let their team, I guess, reach another level. But for us, if you like, for me, the streams that I watch, I don't really have any fake crowd noise or anything for the women's games.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys don't either. And you can just hear Emma Hayes, you can hear the bench of Chelsea always cheering on the players. And I think they make up for the fans, even though there are, 10 of them on the bench maximum. But they're always cheering every single good action that the team does. And so there's enough fans in that stadium for Chelsea, I feel. Even in terms of the media, a lot of the media are, I guess, supporting Chelsea in this. And in terms of VAR, I just wanted to say a quick thing. We saw it in the Women's World Cup. And in the early stages of that World Cup, I'm sure maybe Radha, you'll remember that there were a lot of dodgy penalties, little dodgy calls here and there. So I really, really hope there's none of that today. But yeah, go on.
That's kind of creating a little bit of extra tension, isn't it, Radha? Are they going to play a spoil sport?
Yeah, it is, because I'm wondering if it goes into penalty shootouts and every penalty is retaken, it'll just get a bit chaotic and it'll change the dynamic of how any penalty shootout is being taken. And I think coming to the fans, although it would have been a new element, a new aspect, I think in Sweden we would have had a good home advantage with fans. We would have had all Magda's family, Kira's family, Jonna Anderson there. I think we would have had a good crowd. But yeah, unfortunately, we don't have that new dimension, and we'll just have to win on our merit, or Barcelona have to win on their merit, and that's also a good game of football. So it'll be nice to hear the players and what they're up to and what the coaches are up to. But I'm hoping VAR does not. We don't have to talk about VAR when we talk about the post match. When we have this post match stream, I hope the VAR is to the minimum.
Absolutely. CFCW show saying good evening, guys. Good evening, all winners saying let's go Blues. Now, Sriram has asked a question. I'm just going to technically answer it. The question that they're asking is, could Mendy would have saved the goal? Is the same, is like, would Giroud would have scored if Werner was not there? Or would someone would have done this, would is not there? So it's almost like a mere speculation.
Yeah,
now, rather, you've been following Chelsea a lot. You've been speaking about Chelsea a lot. What would this cup mean to Chelsea? And hi, David, by the way. What would this cup mean to Chelsea as a team?
Yeah, for everyone listening, I'd like to hear your thoughts also on what this cup would mean for Chelsea. So in the comments, go ahead and put that. But I think it's very clear, right? Emma Hayes has had one project and she has put everything into her team to achieve one goal. And this is it, right? Reaching the final was a goal, but that was just maybe 25% of it. The real goal is to win it and is to bring back European glory to England, right? And I really think that this will completely level up the team, right? Players will sign extensions, new players will join Chelsea. Chelsea will become powerhouse. It'll become a force to be reckoned with. We already have a target on our back, having won the WSL a couple of years in a row. This will change the face of how Chelsea Football Club is perceived in England and across the globe. And I'm sure the number of fans that Chelsea had before this game, and if we win, the number of fans that Chelsea women will have after this game will double, triple. Some exponential growth is going to happen. Very, very crucial for the club's progress going forward.
Ishan, a repeat of 2012 happening in the women's stage right now means a lot for the club, especially in terms of fans, in terms of the global reach, being a powerhouse. Like Radha said, Lyon has just been dominating a lot for the Champions Leagues. Like, this is my home, this is my turf. But then being a new player, in the league, it just says like, okay, fine, now it's Chelsea, we got to be serious.
Yeah, Radha kind of touched upon the footballing kind of impact that it could have in terms of players signing new deals, players coming into the club, and even fans. But I kind of wanted to touch on the emotional aspect of what it might mean to this team. Like, we already know the story of Fran Kirby and everything she's been through. So what could it mean for her? We know Anne-Catherine Berger in 2017, she beat cancer, and now 2021, she can win the Champions League. Emma Hayes, this is the most weird one, not weird one, but when I read this yesterday, I almost cried. And in 2018, Emma Hayes had, I guess she was pregnant with twins and she lost one of her twins. And today she can win the Champions League one day before her son's birthday. And that would just be, when you think of that, it's just like, this is so much bigger than football for this team. And I'm sure there's so many different stories within this team that we can find. Even with Maren Mjelde and her injury right now, like this game is so much more than just a game of 90 or 120 minutes. It's like, it's been a project for so long, and hopefully Emma Hayes can get her geese to flock together and honk at each other whenever the spirits are low or whatever. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to say.
I mean, Ishan raises a very important point. He spoke about Maren Mjelde and Hafiz. We have Magda Eriksson and Millie Bright at the centre-back partnership. How important is Magda for this game?
This is not a point to be stressed on, because this has been the best defensive pairing in the WSL and probably in the world, because those two are doing a phenomenal job. I mean, without Magda, yes, we are in shambles. We've made some horror mistakes by Millie because of the lack of coordination. But having Magda is an extra confidence to the players, the right back, the left back. They all have this sort of confidence when they have Magda in the lineup. So I think yes, this defense will go places. We are already back-to-back champions, WSL champions. I think this is, if this final is cemented for Chelsea, this centre-back pairing will be the best pairing in the world at the moment. Talking about the back defensive lineup, we will be missing Maren Mjelde for sure. She is built for such games. She is the person for such games. So she is a huge miss for this game. But I do trust Jess Carter. I trust Niamh Charles. So let's see. I'm very hopeful about it.
So David Ake is asking, is there going to be a post-match thoughts? That's an interesting question. I will ask Radha and Ishan to answer to that question. Let them say what they have to say about a post-match thoughts. Too early to predict?
Well, yeah, it depends. It depends if we're in tears of joy or tears of sadness, I guess. But yeah, I'm just focused on the next 8 minutes and then the 90 to come.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people are asking for score predictions. Do you want to do it? Score predictions? Hafiz has kind of lifted his hand up. He's like, no, definitely not. Radha's also given up. Ishan?
I won't do a score prediction, but this is the first time my friends have agreed to watch women's football with me. I've never watched a game with any of my friends before, so I'm very excited for that. And I hope it's high scoring, just, so they're entertained and they can see the level that these women play at. Hopefully, high scoring and for a Chelsea win, obviously.
High scoring and Champions League finals never go hand in hand. It's going to be a 1-goal, 1-0, or
I think Lyon have to disagree. SK Lyon scored 4 versus Barcelona a couple of years ago. Yeah,
probably. Yeah, I think Sang kind of sums it up pretty well. If we lose, there will be depression. If we win, there will be inhibition, and there will be no coherent post-match thoughts. So both ways, absolutely, there will be no coherent post-match thoughts. Obviously, we got to know it today morning after our FA Cup final loss, pretty bad. But yeah, SR Creations Kaligana Lingundo. Yes, Chelsea Football Club. Go to the YouTube channel. It's free. Go to Chelsea Football Club YouTube channel. It's free, or download the Fifth Stand app. Again, it's free. That's it. It's done.
Also, UEFA.tv. It's on simple website as well.
UEFA.tv. Yeah, there's tons of chance. 5 minutes to go. Final thoughts before we kind of wind up this discussion. Radha, what is your final thoughts? If tensed, excited, kind of nervous?
Yeah, all of the above. I
All
think
of the
the first 10 will be crucial. First 10 minutes, I think we scored in the first 10 when it came to the second leg of Bayern as well, and we really set some sort of kind of domination going into that game. I think first 10 will be crucial, and score going into halftime will be crucial, because halftime is almost like that week's break between first leg and second leg. That halftime, those 20-25 minutes, is everything is going to go down there. So first 10 minutes and the last 5 before halftime whistle, it'll be really crucial.
Ishan?
I have no thoughts. I just want a Chelsea win. I am too scared of losing this game because it will literally ruin my whole week. Actually, no, we play on Tuesday again, but it will ruin the weekend, and just the negativity around the whole fan base right now, it would just crush everything. And as Radha said, if we win today, there will be so many more fans supporting the Chelsea women, and that is one of my goals with my channel, something that I can promote with Chelsea's women's team, because they're so good and they deserve to be seen.
It is a fan question. Nelson, we just answered this pretty early in the discussion, but I kind of think that this is going to be a 50-50 match. Of course, Barca is kind of going to dominate. Probably they might have at least a 60% possession in terms of percentage-wise. But then Chelsea, Barca is going to be very careful, because we have absolutely no walkover, especially with the Kirby combination right up front. And Sriram has just given interesting comment, and his comment reminds me a dialogue from Avengers. What is your plan? And Tony Stark says, "I have a plan. Attack." So it'll be pretty interesting as to what's going to happen. We have 3.5 minutes to go. Hafiz, your final thoughts?
I've got no thoughts, to be honest. Just want a win very badly, because this week has been very bad. Excited, scared, tired, to be honest, tired because of the last few games last week. So definitely I won't be able to tolerate a loss. So yes, very hopeful about the victory, and yes, come on, Chelsea.
Come on, Chelsea. The team is about to walk out to the pitch, as Prasanna is saying. Come on, Chelsea. Come on, you Blues. And let's be all positive. Hopefully, we can catch up for the post match. Till then, bye-bye.
Bye. Come on, Chelsea.